Hi there, I'm Craig Stevens, and this is the Change Mentor Podcast. I have a good friend of mine, Tony, and today we're going to talk about emotional intelligence. Tony has a workshop on emotional intelligence. And Tony, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and then we'll go straight into the subject.
Okay, thank you, Greg, for having me today. I'm happy to be here and sharing the topic that I have passion about it, emotional intelligence. So my name is Dr. Tony Prensa. My background, maybe you won't believe it, but it's in IT. So I'm a software engineer for more than 40 years, working in the profession in different roles in my career. But the last, I would say, of the 43 years that I've been working as a professional. I think about 30 years have been in leading position, managing position, working with teams of all kind in different locations around the world. So that brought me to think about something. Is most of the time we focus too much in the technical aspect of the world, but we forget about we are humans. We work with humans and we work for humans. Okay, anything that you deliver in a project is something that you have consumers, you have customers, and you have people that are going to use the outcome of your effort. But we forget about that. So how we develop good relationship and we have a healthy work environment, and not even work environment, also a great relationship with the people around you. Not only the co-workers, partners, peers, but also your loved ones. So that's when I started embracing and living with emotional intelligence. How important is to develop emotional intelligence, and that I go in a practice way, a lot of role playing, so you can embrace these concepts of emotional intelligence and put in practice and live as an emotional intelligent person. So that will change your life. It's a life changing when you embrace emotional intelligence in your life.
That's very good. Tony, I was so interested in this subject. That's kind of how I led my master's in engineering management, was the people side, the culture side of engineering, and also along with all the mathematics goes along with that. But
Right.
that has always been an interest. Emotional intelligence, been tracking that since the book was written, right?
Exactly.
And I find that you're exactly right. One of the things that I have now that we are providing for manufacturing companies is soft skills for the supervisor. If someone just going into supervisory role, and so that would be the first level, of management, really,
Right.
and that would be very. We touch on emotional intelligence in that also, but could you go in to maybe an outline of what the emotional intelligence training would look like?
Yes. So basically, we go over the theory about the components of emotional intelligence, like self-awareness, self-regulation, relationship management, and social skills. So in each of those four aspects of emotional intelligence, so we develop hands-on in the workshop. So we have role playing. So I make people to participate and take a flavor. So how those emotions, we're talking about 27 emotions that have been researched by psychologists and scientists on behavioral science. And we go over each of those. So how you recognize those emotions? First, you need to recognize those emotions so you can manage the emotion. That's the second, we say the phase of emotional intelligence, self-management. And that's how we do it in the workshop. So there's a lot of laughing, there's a lot of interaction with others. So I say it's not about good relationship. I say about great connection with other human beings. And people, they will understand how that mean, how can these skills, because emotional intelligence, the EQ is different from IQ. The IQ is very hard. The IQ is how you learn about something. That's the normal intelligence of people. So EQ, emotional quotient, is trainable, is learnable. So you can learn about those skills. But it's not easy. So you need to practice, and that's the type of thing that I provide in the workshop, how you can practice that. Basically, that you make habits of them. So you need to create habits in order to embrace the emotional intelligence skills. And that's how we go about these are very engaging workshop, and people, they will learn and they will value the learning out of the workshop.
Well, Tony, I know that you have another meeting coming up, and we're going to keep this real short and sweet. But here's kind of a summary of what we can do together. And we're missing one of our partners in this presentation. Dave Harry and Tony and I are working together on different things. So we would love to reach out for you to reach out to us and talk more. You can find it in the show notes. But reach out to me, reach out to Tony. But here's kind of the overlap in summary. So emotional intelligence is all about the people side. You may have the technical skills, but you need the people side. Right. That builds the culture, that builds engagement, that builds all kinds of people issues that are important. The emotional intelligence also overlaps and is in our customer service training. It's also in our soft skills training and our other management leadership training, but it's also a standalone course that Tony has put together, and he teaches it often. It's done with laughter. It's done with gaming, all kinds of things. And we're developing a gamified platform so that you can go in and also get that. So when Tony and I get through with that, then you'll be able to actually see the courses on your cell phone, that kind of thing. But that's it. Tony, I'm gonna leave you with the last word, and then so think of Change Mentor Academy, reach out to us, and we'll reach out to Tony, or reach out to Tony. And Tony, you speak how many languages? At least two.
At least two, but if I count sometimes just joking, so I speak about 5 computer languages. So I speak Kobo. If we consider those as language, I can communicate with computer in different ways. So yeah. I speak Java, I speak Python.
Yeah, I used to speak.
I speak a little bit of French. So I started learning Portuguese because I work for a company that I was in charge of Latin America. So I was learning Portuguese a little bit.
You and David go all over the world doing this. So every time I see you or David, you're in a different part of the world. And I'm sitting here in Nashville, Tennessee, and very jealous, I might add. And
yeah. Well,
so move your head a little bit. Let's see your logo behind you. Move your head a little bit so I can see the logo. Global Business Consulting.
Yeah.
Tony. So reach out to Tony. Tony's a great guy. You'll love him. And we will talk again. We'll find one more subject. But this problem we're solving is emotional intelligence related to dealing with people in the workforce, technical people dealing with people, right?
Definitely.
And so, all right, we'll see you on the next podcast.
Thank you for having me, Craig. Have a great day.
Thank you, Tony, for sharing your little bit of time with us that you had.
Thank you.